What's up, everybody? I'm Blessed and Free. Welcome back to another episode of DOC TV. So I was reached out to by another YouTuber. I'm sure you guys have heard of him, Jay Williams. He's got a YouTube channel. If you haven't, which I'm sure everybody watching this is already subscribed, go check him out. Jay Williams, Let's Live Life on YouTube. I appreciate the interview, bro. So, man, I was reached out. I heard you got a crazy story. You've changed your life around, man. And that's what we do on DOC TV. We bring people on that have been at the bottom and have changed their life. And now you can shed some light on, what you had to go through to do that. So, man, why don't you go ahead and just introduce yourself to the people watching at home? Just tell them your name and where you're from.
Hey, what's up? My name's Noel. I'm from Idaho, right by Boise, Idaho. 38 years old. I've been out now for about a year.
All right, man. So Idaho, I actually interviewed a girl from Idaho, but I didn't really get into like what it was like there. But so what was that like for you growing up in Idaho, man?
Yeah, I seen that interview. I'm from it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm from a different part of Idaho, I guess. It's Idaho ain't that big of a city. It's not like populated like California. It's kind of like a miniature Seattle, the area I'm in, but just on a smaller level. Over here, it's a drug scene. I mean, there's gangs here, there's murders. It depends how deep you want to get into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So how deep did you get into it, man?
Enough to get hit by the FBI and catching a federal.
Yeah. So you went down under, as the Aussies would say.
Yes, sir.
So what made you gravitate towards that life versus like, being a good boy and going to school and getting good grades? And I'm assuming that, you started wilding out at a young age.
Yeah, correct. Probably around the age of 12, 13.
So what was it, man? Like, can you pinpoint it or?
I have good parents. I'm not the type to say, well, my dad wasn't in the home. He was in the home. I mean, it wasn't all lovely and all that. He was hard on me. We had our issues. I just ran into the wrong crowd. My family, where I'm from, comes from the other side of the track. So I'm the only one that went to the Sureño lifestyle as far as my whole family. I just wasn't my thing. So I decided to go the other way around. Started at the age of 13. I got jumped in at the age of, I think I was at my freshman year, about 15 years old is when I finally got put on.
All right. And was that because like you wanted to belong to like, kicking it with the homies? Like it just felt like what, like your second family? Is that what made you want to get down?
Yeah, well, I mean, just kicking it with them. Finally, we're hanging out. They're like, hey, you still want, you're saying you're claiming it. Are you down for it? And next thing I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And next thing I know, I'm getting rushed in. It happened that fast, and my whole life changed. I say the next day.
Did it sink into your head at that point? Like, because there's some big shit that comes with rocking with a gang, especially one like the Surenos. So, like, did you know at that point, like, shit, I'm all in for the rest of my life type shit?
Well, see, my story's a little different. Yeah, it was crazy. There was a lot. I've lost homies. They've been shot. It was getting pretty rowdy here. Like I said, we're a smaller city, so it's not like every neighborhood's a different gang. It's nothing like that. My city I'm in, you're either one or the other, and we run into each other on the regular. I thought I was a gangbanger. Like I thought we were down. I thought we knew what it was to live that certain lifestyle and hold the title of a Sureño until I caught my first bid. And I didn't. This is my first time going to prison. I'm going in at the age of 35. I was doing my dirt. Never really got caught up. You know what I mean? Had kids. I would go like and start working, doing good with my family, and then I would run into somebody, and then I'd start running amok, getting high. Next thing I know, it's fucking 6 months later, and I'll try doing it again, doing the family life again, and I was just going in a cycle like that till finally, probably the age of 29, I was in the pill scene, got real sick, right? We all heard of methadone clinics.
Yeah, that's that liquid handcuffs, bro.
Man, that stuff is the devil, bro. And
ain't lying, man.
Yeah, that stuff tore my life up. And I just remember my car broke down. I couldn't get to the clinic. and I'm getting sick. Everyone doesn't live that lifestyle. You know, you get dope sick. It's the worst feeling in the world. I run into one of my boys from my neighborhood at the gas station. I'm not feeling well. At that time, crystals popping up.
That's another motherfucker, boy. So that bitch will do you dirty, old Tina, bro.
Oh man, that shit is nasty, bro. They both evil in their own ways. Crystals is another trip, man. Next thing I know, I'm at his house getting high. I forgot about the sickness because that's what I was worried about.
When you say getting high, like on crystal, for example, like what do you mean? Like, are you staying up for a week type shit?
Yeah, that one hit turned into a week, turned into a half hour.
I just wanted to make sure because there's like different levels. You know what I mean? Some people do it, they stay up for like a day party and that's it. And then some people do it and you know, like a month goes by and you're like, what? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, see, mine was on that times 10. Mine turned into taking that hit to getting a half ounce on my pocket in my lap to staying up until 5 years later. I'm about 130 pounds, and the FBI is knocking on my mom's door looking for me. That's how quick it turned my life right, like a shocker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know a lot of people that it's happened to like that. Why did the FBI kick your door in, man, 5 years later?
Well, I started working with the guy, picking up work, doing, just playing the game, thinking that I was making money when I really wasn't. That evil cycle of thinking you're doing big things when you're still making less than minimum wage. In all reality, I started working a regular job. I'm about 4.5 years in, right? I'm trying to get my life back together. And next thing I know, I'm at work and my brother texts me and it says FBI. And I'm thinking, what the hell does that mean? Like LOL, laugh out loud. I didn't know what it meant, right? And I said, well, what does that mean? He goes, FBI's here, fool, looking for you at mom's house. They just raided it. So I'm like, oh shit. I turn the corner and they're ready right there at my job site. Get on the floor. Long story short, they got me for distribution of methamphetamine.
So when you said 4.5 years in, what did that mean? You're free. So are you talking about like that you were doing good?
No, 4.5 ins of selling crystal, doing the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it all came to a head then on that.
It all came to an end. Yep. Yeah, it all came down to a certain individual wearing a camera and a microphone on her.
It never goes down like that, bro. That's crazy. It's always some shit like that, man. Like nobody can ever just make money and shut the fuck up.
But you know what? I'm grateful because it might have changed my life completely around and gave me life experiences that I had no idea. I went into the game knowing I'm going to get in trouble and get caught. I just thought I'm not a felon yet. I'm 35. Yeah, I do my dirt, always have. I would always walk away at the right time. I figured, okay, in my state, they have a thing called drug court. That girl said something about that, and she was right. I figured I'd get caught with a little something, get drug court, not getting hit with distribution of meth. I didn't anticipate it hitting that level of being on a serious tip. You know what I mean?
On top of it too, by the feds,
by the FBI.
It ain't even like a state thing. Like
I went from zero
to the big boys now.
Yeah. I mean, I've done county time. I mean, everyone's done county time, 6 months here, 9 months there. Nothing serious like that. I mean, not really had drug charges on my jacket other than weed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So how much time did you end up getting for the distribution?
Well, on a stupid level, check this out. They hit me with distribution. That sounds like pounds and kilos, right? I mean, let's get it real. That's what you're thinking when it's the FBI. And in most senses, that's what it is. But in my state, like I said, it's small. They only got me for selling 5 grams of meth, bro. And they gave me a federal sentence, right? Thank God I wasn't a felon. So I got a total of 7 years, did 3, but COVID hit. Like I said, I've only been out a year. And with the whole thing of COVID hitting, it turned my sentence where I got out. They had to release people mandatory if you've done half your time, or I would still be in there today, as a matter of fact.
So it's crazy, man. So you're kind of like, COVID's like a disaster, but in your side, it's like a blessing.
It was a blessing. It was a blessing, yes.
So tell the
Uh,
people, man, obviously you're a Sureño, right?
yep.
All right. So what are you walking into when you walk into prison versus somebody that's a neutron that's not affiliated walking into prison? Like, how is it different?
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to jump a couple steps before that to explain that. We don't have a federal holding, what like a county jail. We don't have a federal facility in the state of Idaho. So what they do is they'll hold you in our county jail, but then once you're gonna hit your sentencing point, they're gonna fly you to Seattle. And the holding place is called SeaTac. Federal, it's a federal building. I went to SeaTac while I'm waiting to get sentenced, and then they fly you back. I ended up going over there, and this is like a low level. It's in the feds, it's low, medium, and then USP, and then it goes from there. So so I hit the SeaTac, and so a lot of the homies are from Idaho there. There's some people from Washington, and I think a little bit of Oregon and Utah and Alaska. But these mods only hold like 100 people. But as far as my car, there was only about 9 to 10 of us deep. And then they had like the natives, they had, blacks and the whites. At that time, I walked in, it was like a reunion. I knew everyone at the table there. So it wasn't, it was just another county jail as far like going to my state. It wasn't a big deal other than everyone else I didn't know. You know what I mean? That was a little different. It was cell living. It's not a dorm or none of that. So it wasn't a big deal. So I'm there for, I don't know, 9 weeks. Some guy comes in, I catch a salt beef in there, 100 shot. Well, yeah, we smack. I'm not gonna say exactly. I mean, I have the shot report, but yeah, he got pretty fucked up. I mean, he came in with some bad charges, and we clean up our car. We don't let trash ride with us. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. You don't catch a sex beef, and you're not gonna sit at my table with the sex beef and say you're rolling with us.
So
Go
can
ahead.
you talk about like how that goes down?
Pretty much, we'll embrace them because we are no one. Every homie is considered equal. You know what I mean? We're no one to judge you until we have proof that you're either no good or whatever. You know what I mean? We're no
Right.
one to assume anything. We just don't. That's not the way we roll.
What is considered no good? So when you look up somebody, like what are the things that you're like, nah, hell nah.
Uh, child, like I guess that kitty porn. That's a big thing in the feds as far as catching a federal beef. Rape, rats.
Yeah.
If you want to real clean, no foul charges, just like anywhere else in the prison system. We don't allow trash to roll with us. We
Yeah.
do check paperwork. We're not allowed to, but you better have your paperwork on you. And someone always knows somebody to verify that.
When
But
you
in our
say have, so when you say have paperwork on you, because I watched YouTube for a while before I actually made the YouTube, right? And there's a lot of people from California that are on, and over there, a lot of people been to feds, and in the feds, I've even heard it. So how does somebody keep their paperwork on them? Because I've heard dudes are sticking it in their ass. They call it hoop it or some shit. Is that shit true?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
well, there's a couple ways. So, when it depends if you're going to prison, like after your sentence and they ship you off, you could go to your counselor right when you get there because the homies are going to embrace you. That's just the way it is. You're going to get embraced until proven otherwise. So the
Right.
second you get off the bus, you're going to go in there and you're gonna meet and greet everyone. You're gonna get a kitty. The kitty for us is like a hygiene packet. Some soap, some soup, some yard dogs, some shorts, a shirt, whatever you can get.
Pretty much everything you need right when you walk in that motherfucker.
Everything you need to start
Yes.
rolling.
That's what's up.
That's the way we roll. That's our car, and that pretty much. I never really got into the other cars and what they do, but I'm speaking for what I seen. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
get your kitty, and then whoever has the block. So the cell, the house, pretty much our rep for that speaks for us and pretty much holds the keys for us will approach you in a good way and be like, hey, you got your paperwork. You be like, you either hooped it on the way there because you ain't getting nothing. Even your shoes they're gonna take from you, and it's like a cloth orange jumpsuit. You know what I mean? So you don't got nothing but boxers in that when you're on Con Air. So you get there and be like, yeah, I got it hooped up. I'll take care of it real quick. Usually 9 out of 10 times, if you hooped it, they already know you're with the business, that you're good, but they're going to check it.
So when somebody hoops it in like the federal system, that's basically them, like that's your driver's license.
They're proud of that shit, especially, you know, they have that to say, here you go, I'm good. You know what I mean? And they're going to verify that shit. I guess on the case number, there's certain case numbers, and I don't know. I don't want to give you false statements and remember the case numbers. I was nothing on that level to be running paperwork. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it 100. But there's certain case numbers that they will look for. You can go to your counselor and they'll print off your sentencing paper. So pretty much how long you're going to get, and a case number, how much probation you're going to get. You know what I mean? So they know automatically what these codes are on that case. If you work for the feds, sex crime, they'll know. So you could get it that way, or you could have your lawyer. Well, they'll mail out your paperwork to your family member and say, hey, write me a letter, send it to me, you know, so when I get there, I have my driver's license, you know what I mean? Or you could hoop it, like I said. But yeah, but as far as the prison, it seems like they know who's coming before we get there. And that's the weird thing. I had never experienced nothing like that, man. That shit they knew when you're coming, you know?
Bro, they ain't even playing.
No, it was, yeah, bro. I've never seen nothing like that in my life. It's not violent like state prison. The feds is more on a different trip. It's about money in the feds. Don't get me wrong, violence occurs and it will drop in a second, but there's no one-on-one beefs. It's one goes, we're all fucking sending it off. You know what I mean?
So if I'm in the feds and some dude, like, you know, we're gambling and he tries to buck me on some shit and I'm like, nah, bro, tighten me up in the side cell, that can't happen?
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
That's
so what you're going to
what?
Yeah, well,
that would drive me crazy, bro, knowing I can't fucking beat this dude's ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get it. Like I said, the first thing the homies told me was, hey, there's no one-on-ones here. And I'm like, what do you mean? You know, if you have an issue, we're going to have, this ain't county and this is the rules of the house, period. There's no one-on-ones. One goes, we all go. So if you start swinging, you better have a good fucking reason why.
All right. You didn't really say nothing back to that.
Right. But I mean, like, if you got dirty like that and you were disrespected and you didn't handle your business, that's one thing. But if it was that bad where you wanted to take flight and you felt like you're in the good, then hit them. But you're going to set it off throughout the whole block pretty much.
What was the first federal prison that you landed at, man?
Well, SeaTac, and then I got sent and went to in Nevada. They have another holding place called Pahrump. That's like a dorm living there for like the medium, and then they have like the maximum, that's cell living. But for the people in Nevada catching a Fed beef, they'll sit there and fight their cases. But everyone else coming in, it's like a holding place to wait to where you get validated, what level you're at. How they go by the point system in the feds, how many points you have. So if you're on a low point system, you'll end up at a low. So they're going to wait for your points to come through and where you're going to be sent to. So you could be there from anywhere. I seen people get there for 2 weeks all the way. I was there for 3 months. What slowed me down was I smashed that guy out in SeaTac before I was even sentenced. And my points went from a low status, because it's my first felony, you know, to all the way to medium high, like that fast.
So after that had happened, was that like the only time you had an incident when you were doing time?
No, I had like probably three. I had 3 more incidents. I did most of my little bid there because of COVID in the shoe. I'm not gonna lie. I was on the main line for 3 weeks in California. So I didn't know where I was going. I thought I was going to Oregon because I'm from like the Northwest, you know what I mean? So I thought I was going to Oregon. I don't Sheridan. It's called Sheridan. That's where I thought I was going, but I caught that stupid incident. So they were like, oh, you know, you want to play? You're categorized as STG now. And I was like, well, what do you mean? Well, you're playing with, you know, you shouldn't be gangbanging in prison. It's like, come on, you know the politics. Why are you sending this fucking piece of shit through the main line? You knew his jacket. Why did you send him through? You know how COs are. Some of them are fucking corrupt.
Yeah.
Straight up. I mean, that's just the way it is. So I hit the yard out there in Lompoc. So I did the rest of my time out in Lompoc, California. Shout out to the homies out there. Much love always.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
So tell the people watching, man, I heard you say you did some time in the shoe, right? So I've done confinement time, but I know what confinement time is like. But for the people watching, I don't know what it's like in California, under the shoe is what you guys call it. So what is it like, man, being in the shoe?
It's in the shoe. There's PC cases in the shoe. People that lock it up. They want protective custody, or there's disciplinary. So in there, it's a bunch of, you don't know who's who. You don't know. Okay, did this guy lock it up? So they're gonna ask you for your shot. You get your shot in there, and they'll tell you why you're in there. So when you go through, they'll automatically know, like, is that a homie, or is that a PC? So when you get there, somebody will have the whole, like, a block, and you'll be like, hey, who are you? Where are you coming from? I'm coming from F unit. They call me, my nickname. We'll shoot your paperwork, and I'll fish my paperwork to them, and they'll be like, okay, you're good. You know what I mean? And there, it's crazy. We don't get showers. There's a shower in your cell, so it's a little bit different. It's
and so
crazy.
they really don't have to ever let you out then.
Well, they have 1 hour of rec time or whatever, the little cages they got outside. But so what they do in the morning count is they'll hit the room with the flashlight, and you got to be standing awake before that light turns on and the guard walks away, with your finger on the little window saying 2 or 1, like both of us are going to the yard, or 1. The thing is, we don't know what fucking time it is. We don't got no radio.
I know.
We got nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy. We have a thing called the gallo, which is a rooster. That's what it means in Spanish. So what they do is, he'll have either a radio on him with the time, or a watch that he snuck in the shoe. So at 5 in the morning, I believe it was 4:45 in the morning. My bad. He'll do like a yell throughout the whole thing, and he'll say, like, "Excuse me" on the tier, and he'll recognize. Hey, he'll be like Surenos, and then he'll say, like, camaradas. That's like all the homies, and then paisas, and then woods, and then he'll say good morning. And that's our alarm clock to get up before the lights get flipped on, so you can make it out to yard.
That's what's up, man. Good looking out, bro.
Yeah. People don't know that. You know what I mean? It's a trip. Yeah.
All right, man. So out of your whole time doing time and being incarcerated, even in the gang life and just everything you've been through, man, what would you say is the craziest thing that you went through?